everyone, this is Ren from Strong Girls Knits, and today I'm going to be talking about my sewing. So, yeah, I actually finished up 2 of the girls' costumes of the 3 that I need to do, so I wanted to show those real quick. So this year, I have a queen, a princess, and a ballerina for the girls, and then Jimmy wants to be a Minecraft character, so... But for this first one, so she said she wanted to be a queen, and I was flipped through a bunch of patterns and whatnot that they had at Joann's, and I found this one. It's Simplicity 5520, and it actually comes with two little boy costumes and then these 2 costumes. And I ended up going with this one right here. We can close up on it. And it went really well. I did kind of screw a couple things up, but that's okay. I'm just learning and it doesn't really take from it. So, like I had shown, so this purple fabric, and I need to iron it and everything. This purple fabric I got from the thrift store down in Georgia. This ended up being, it's like 3 yards, and it only covered the back, which really annoyed me. So it was the back part. And then I got a whole, like, 5 yards of this stuff for 50 cents at my local thrift store. And then the front, I had to buy the front, which kind of annoyed me because I was really hoping to try and get the girl stuff done on the cheap, which this was still really cheap. And I got this really pretty, we'll do a close-up. It's glittery. Well, ooh, I'm sorry, that blew it out. It's a really light pink. And I was kind of nervous because I roamed the store for a good, like, 15 minutes trying to find fabric that would go with this light. Like, I really wanted matching, as close to matching as I could. But, and actually, I think it looks a lot better than I thought it was going to. And, it has a little neck collar. Now, this was supposed to be, I ended up cutting about almost 2 inches off when I connected it all around the collar. I guess I was supposed to kind of gather it a bit, and I didn't. So, because it's supposed to lay completely flat around, but so when she wears it, it's more of a high collar type thing, which is fine. It actually still looks really cool, and I like it. And, but yeah, so, I don't know, it turned out really nice. I had to French seam the sleeves together, which was interesting. That was a first for me. The only thing I just don't like about it, the sheer, is you can see the stitches, which really sucks. But, I don't know. Then I hemmed it and everything. And actually, and I did this for all the zippers, which I kind of like. So, you're supposed to, so here's the zipper. And you're supposed to, like, you know, sew all the way up to about here and then leave it open and attach it and do, like, all this other stuff. But I had seen in another book, because I wasn't going to do an invisible slip zipper and it didn't call for one. So I went ahead and stitched it all the way up, and then I sewed on the zipper from with it closed, which was interesting to do. That was a bit of fiddling, but I feel like I took about the same amount of time if I'd done it the other way, maybe even saved some time. And then all I did was undo I seamed ripped this open, and voila, the zipper. All I have to do is clean up my little bits from where I ripped the seam. But otherwise it went really quick, and I did it for Victoria's dress too, which it was a little difficult for Victoria's dress, and you'll see why, because there's so much tulle. But here's the first one, and I think it fits her really good, and everything just looks really nice, so I was very proud of it. And I will definitely, after Halloween, once they start wearing it, I'll post pictures on Instagram and everything, but I don't know, I just need to get a crown for both of them now, so. And then here's Victoria's. Hers is, besides the tulle on the outside, which cost me like maybe $2, probably less than that, I got hers all thrift store, and I think I spent maybe $6 on the fabric, if that, and I think that's pushing it because, and this stuff, this gold stuff, I only used it for the bodice, and I have a ton of it left over, and I actually, so let me show the pattern first. It's Simplicity 1303, and they're all kind of pretty similar. It's just different design elements of each one that are different. So she picked this one right here, and see how it has a, well, they all have a belt pretty much. no, I guess not. Well, anyways, there's this belt. And I cut the fabric out for the belt with this gold fabric. And then I started putting it together and I was like, well, a belt would just take it away. And the whole purpose of the belt was to add even more layers of tulle and whatnot on top of it. And I was like, she's gonna be a boat of tulle by the time everything's done. But, anyways, so I decided to go, I had already cut the belt out and everything, but I decided not to add it on, which is fine because the belt fits perfectly to where I can actually make Victoria a skirt with it. So I would just, it'd be a belt with this material and then probably just some tulle, so, which is no big deal. And this fabric is actually really nice. I still have, like I said, I have tons of this left over, so I can make myself or one of the girls something with it, and it would be really nice. But this stuff was, I'm so proud of myself. Look at these gathers on here. So, gathered sleeves and a gathered skirt. I actually, like I talked about forever ago, I had bought a gathering foot from at Hancock's, which is out of business now, sadly, but, and I tried using it, it just wasn't working out. I don't know, it wasn't working for me. And then I magically found I guess it's a basting stitch on here. I'm assuming that's what it's for, that's what I've used it for, and I realized I could use it for the gathering, because when you gather, it's not necessarily supposed to be a set stitch, it's just so you can gather it and then attach it to whatever you need. So it worked out perfectly with this. I did it with the sleeves, these little pretty sleeves, and the skirt as well, which was a godsend with that because this is just ridiculous. But so with this bodice is fully lined. I'm really proud of that. And this fabric I got from the thrift store, as I mentioned, and I pretty much used all of it up. I think I only have scraps left over, and it's enough to like make pockets or something. So I'm keeping it to like if I want to insert a pocket in one of the girls' skirts or my own. But see, it's fully lined, and that's nice. I do want to do something. I probably won't just because it's a costume, but so the inside, let's look at the guts. Here it is all together. It doesn't hurt, you know, it's not hard fabric, so it's not going to hurt her or anything, but it's just kind of the inside is not the prettiest, and the same with the sleeves. They're a little mushed, but that's okay. I don't know. I think, like I said, I'm really proud of this one, and it's almost so pretty. I feel like she could wear it as a normal dress, not necessarily a costume. I don't know, maybe it is a little out there, but yeah, so I'm actually, one thing I want to talk about because I was very proud of myself. So the sleeves, it's actually, you cut out 2 pieces for each sleeve, so it was altogether 4, and I didn't necessarily need to. I cut it out without fully reading through the directions, which was fine, but it worked out because I had the sleeves together, which I guess were wrong sides together, but with this fabric there was really no difference, and stitched the bottom and along the underarm, and then flipped it with the right side fabric out, and then gathered it and attached it, and then I didn't have to hem. You know, there was no messing with that, trying to iron or flip it over or anything. So, whew, if there's anything of mine that I could do something like that, I'm definitely going to try and do something like that, because the less I have to hem, the better. So, and I even did it on the skirt, which was funny because I sewed the skirt up, because it's just 2 pieces of this fabric, and I sewed the skirt together at the top and went to gather it, and I was sitting there talking to my coworker about it, and then I had this epiphany of, oh, I could do the same thing on the skirt as I did the sleeves, and I don't have to worry about hemming it, because that would be tons to hem with this big skirt, because I mean, this skirt is almost 2 yards all the way around gathered up. So that was annoying. But so I had to actually undo all the stitches, which kind of sucked because this pink material can tear really easily, so I had a bit of fiddling with that. But then I did my idea, and it was perfect. It worked out, and it actually falls at just the right length for Victoria. And it has, like I said, it has a nice enclosed, and it's all enclosed, so the inside and the outside of the skirt, there's no seams or anything. It's all perfectly enclosed. And then with the tulle, what I did, because I went and got like 2 yards of it, because how they had it was this one piece you had to cut out 4 times, put all the pieces together to make one big skirt. And was reading over it and everything. I went to start cutting the tool, and I'm like, no way. It's 3 yards. This tool is 3 yards, actually. I went to start, I went to pin it, and I was reading it. I'm like, you know what? I could just simply stitch the 2 sides together, wherever it is. Yeah. I could just stitch the ends together, and then gather it all up, and I don't have to cut any pieces. It's all seamless, pretty much, except for the back. But then in the back, it gets lost, pretty much, so you can't even tell there's a seam there. And again, that worked out perfect. Like I said, I gathered it. It's just so much tulle, and like I said, I'm really proud of this skirt. I'm really proud of this costume altogether, and I kind of want to use the same pattern again to make her a holiday dress, because it fits her really nice. All the pieces did work out really nice together, and I think the second one would be even better. But yeah, and I want to show this because I lined this up almost perfectly with these spikes, with the waist and everything. Because in the back is another piece of the print where it's just kind of, I don't want to say honeycombs, but it's like little flowers, kind of. It's not showing up very well. Yeah, it's so shiny, it's just not showing up very well. But yeah, and again, the zipper, I did the same as the other dress, where it was all the way closed. I did the zipper and then pulled it out. This one, it did kind of suck because I did kind of poke some of this fabric, and it was a pain to try and do this tulle, but I don't know. Again, I still think it was better than the other method of trying to fold over the fabric and get all that done. But yeah, I'm really proud of this. I used up all of the tulle, so there's none left over. Like I said, only a few scraps that I could make a couple pockets with this stuff, and then there's plenty of this stuff to make a whole nother outfit or skirt for whoever. So yeah, I'm really proud of this one as well. But this one I'm probably the most proud of. But put that down there. And then sorry, for Claire, this is actually an old pattern. My mom, it was when she had it for me, and she never used it, and then I pulled it out when like forever ago, and then when I went to do this costume, a ballerina for Claire, I flipped through all my stuff and I found it, and it was like just her size. So it's just a little it's an old McCall's pattern, and it's just supposed to be dress up, where it has different elastic skirts, and pretty much elastic kind of bathing suit stretch, and then it's got some stuff for like a cape and a bride or whatever, so it's all kinds of craziness. But hold on, and I actually kind of like this old pattern. I mean, it's not the best, but I kind of like some of the setup things they do. Okay, so here we go. It's all the same, but just different trimming, and then they had patterns to make yourself a wands, a crown, and then just different like skirts and a cape. So, oh my goodness, sorry. Let me fold this up real quick. And so, and it called for like how much fabric was it? So for the bodysuit, 3/4 of a yard. I was like, okay, that's really cheap. Went to pull it out. I barely used 1/4 of the fabric that I'd cut. So it's just a tiny little bathing suit, pretty much. So I've hemmed this is a stretch fabric as well. It's like the performance wear. Never worked with this before. This would definitely be better with a serger, but I just don't have one, and I don't have room for it, so I've been swinging it. This fabric is kind of ridiculous. I've actually had to go over the seams more than once, because for some reason when I sew it, it kind of like jogs a bit. So I have it like, oh, stitches normal, and then you get a long stitch, and then I don't know what's going on. But it's put together. I have done the top and the armholes, so now I just need to do the legs. But look how shiny it is. It's so shiny. And I still have tons of this left over, so I have no idea what I'm going to do with that. Just maybe practice some more. Yeah, I don't even think I can make myself something like, because I mean, it's 3/4 of a yard, and I mean, there's still a lot of it, but I really don't know what I can make for me personally. So, move that over. But what else? Pretty much the only thing else besides I finished that, or besides the bodysuit, is I have to make a tutu. And with my newfound gathering skills, I think it's going to be a lot easier to make than my original plan. So it has it where like you cut it out circular, but I think what I'm going to do, because I got this thick, or it's a stiff tool, and I'm going to go ahead and fold it over again. So it's 4, 4, 4, because she's short. She doesn't need a full, yeah. Even if it's folded in half, like how you cut it off of the, I'm sorry, I'm trying to mess with this. How you cut it off, it would still be really long for Claire. I mean, she's only 5 years old. So I could do it, fold it in fours and gather it up pretty much, do the whole thing, and she would have a nice tutu. So how to attach it though and everything's going to be interesting, because how the pattern calls for it, you actually like make yourself a waistband, and you gather the skirt, attach it to the waistband that is still loose, and then you thread elastic to fit your child's waist, and then it cinches all together. So we'll see. I'm gonna have to go through my fabric and find. I don't want to use this fabric to do the waistband because it would probably go horribly wrong. So I think I have some fabric I could use. Just some plain satin. It's not gonna matter really either way. But yeah, that's all my sewing right now. I did start making some bunting. I pretty much have all of it cut out, and then I'm going to probably make my own bias tape for it from some other Halloween fabric I have. But I'm pretty excited for that. I actually have tons of it, because you only need one. The pattern I'm using is from the Simply Sewing magazine, and you only need one fat quarter to make it, and it makes like excuse me, it makes 6 little flags. So about, I think it's supposed to be about a yard long, and I had 5, so 5 fat quarters. And I actually have tons more Halloween fabric, but I went ahead and cut up all these fat quarters, and I'm gonna make at least one for me, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and try and make a couple for my friends. So we'll see. But I think that's really it. So thanks for stopping by and listening to me ramble about my costumes. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of on a sewing drive right now because I flipped through, actually I went through all of my Simply Sewing magazines, put a tag in all the ones that I for sure want to do, like the patterns, and just start doing it, because there's tons of skirt patterns in there that I want to do, and then a couple simple dresses as well, and that's not including the actual like print pattern that comes with the magazine. So yeah, I'm just determined to do it, and I actually really want to start practicing on some dresses. I want to make more and more dresses, because, well, I definitely want to, there's a reason why, but I really don't want to say anything because I feel like I feel stupid for saying it. But yeah, so, well, anyway, okay, so I've decided I want to make my own wedding dress. I am by no means engaged at the moment. Hopefully he will propose eventually. So we'll be celebrating 4 years coming in October, so or the 22nd. And then, but anyways, I just had this idea of, because I don't want this big huge $1,000 dress for one day of the year, and so I want to make my own, and I think I could do it fairly cheaply. I'm not saying like cheap, but I feel like I could do a really nice dress that I would enjoy and be happy with for a decent price. And I know I would like to make my bridesmaids dresses, because I only plan on having 2, so but I don't know, that's just a plan of mine. So I'm definitely kind of like, you need to practice dresses, because the one you want, the idea I have in my head, you know, involves boning and stuff, so it's like, girl, you need to get on that. So but yeah, I think that's it. I'll stop rambling. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!